Hello, my name is Alexandria Tollast. I am applying for the advanced level RAP Facilitator training. I work at RI International in Contra Costa at the Concord Center. I am a recovery coach here. Today I will be talking about the 5 key concepts. I will be talking about the wellness toolbox, and I will be talking about RAP. To start off, the 5 key concepts are hope, personal responsibility, education, self-advocacy, and support. The first key concept of hope is the fact that recovery is possible. I know for me, that first glimmer of hope is what started the whole recovery journey for me. It's what sparks our process. It's what sparks the whole start of everything. And people can get well and they can stay well for a long period of time. And to me, that's what hope is about. The next one, personal responsibility, that for me is about, accepting who I am, what I've done, what has happened, where I've been, regardless of it's my fault or someone else's fault, that this is what has happened and I can't change it. The only thing that I can do now is accept that today is a new day, and today is a chance to start taking personal responsibility for my recovery and for my wellness, and I can move forward today, and I can start a new life today. So the next recovery concept, the key concept, is education. When I am facilitating a RAP group, we usually talk about the different resources that there are in different places that you can go to educate yourself for anything, like going to the library, reading a book, going on the internet, talking to another peer, but to educate yourself with your own recovery, sometimes the best way, in my opinion, is to practice mindfulness. I believe that we know what we need. We just have to find it and, hold it and be able to share it. And so that leads me to the next one, which is self-advocacy. In the RAP book, it describes it as believing in yourself and knowing your rights. I know that self-advocacy is so important to me. It's where my recovery journey really changed. I had absolutely no idea how to identify my feelings and share them with someone else. And that led me to a lot of pain and a lot of uncomfortable situations. And so learning how to identify my thoughts and my feelings and, and share them with someone else, express myself clearly and affirmly and assertively was life-changing. And I love watching other people gain that skill. It's so important. And so that leads me to the next one as well, which is support. And support is very, very, very valuable. Humans need other humans. I love the support that we have here at RI. You will come here and you will feel supported. That is the point of coming here. And I love that RAP gives us that chance to kind of identify what support looks like for you. And, because what support looks like for me might be very different to what it looks like for you. And RAP gives us that chance to identify the things that are most important to us. So to recap, we had hope, personal responsibility, education, self-advocacy, and support. The next thing I will be talking about is RAP. So RAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. I love RAP. I think it's a great wellness tool within itself to have one and to utilize it. I see RAP as an opportunity for self-discovery, an opportunity for self-awareness. And we get to learn that there's this process inside of ourselves that happens before we go to a crisis, that, this is how I am when I'm doing well. And if I start to do these things, or if I stop doing these things, or, then maybe I should look at that. Maybe I'm not doing okay. Maybe I'm struggling with something, whether I'm aware of it or not. And rap gives us that chance to make a plan and to be prepared for when those times happen, because triggers and warning signs and when things start to break down inside of me, sometimes they come so quickly and out of nowhere. And having a rap to help me identify those times and to have a plan keeps me well for a lot longer, and keeps me more prepared. And I love being able to facilitate that and to show other people that they have that opportunity too. So when I am facilitating here at RI, there are 8 sessions. The first one is intro to rap, and we talk about the 5 key concepts. So in the intro, we get a chance to kind of talk about Mary Ellen Copeland. We'll watch her video, learn about her story, how she created rap, and then we talk about the 5 key concepts, and that's a chance for the citizens to kind of identify what hope means to them, what personal responsibility means to them. We'll write it on the easel pad, and they get a chance to see like how different they are from each other, but then also the similarities as well, and where they can relate with each other. And we have a group discussion and we move forward. And so the next session is the Wellness Toolbox. That's actually session 2 and 3. 3 would be Wellness Toolbox Continued. And I think that they have 2 sessions because wellness tools are so important. That is what keeps us going. Wellness tools can vary. They can be, as simple as like taking 3 deep breaths to walking, journaling, playing cards, going to the gym. I know for me, a recent wellness tool is to talk really softly and slowly. I can't seem to be rude or be angry if I'm talking really slowly. So I know that's helped me recently. And in the 3rd session of rap, when we do Wellness Toolbox Continued, we talk about diversionary activities, which I personally really enjoy the way that rap explains that. Sometimes the best thing that we can do is to use a diversionary activity. It depends on what is going on, right? Sometimes for me, it's better for me to face whatever's happening head on, whether that's to talk to the person that I'm struggling with, or to journal about it, or to talk to someone else, really try to identify what it is that's going on inside me. And sometimes I'm too emotional, or I'm too high strung at the moment to really deal with it. And so a diversionary activity to divert my attention from whatever's happening can be the best thing. Watching a movie, going, calling a friend sometimes and not asking them how they're doing, and being that support for someone else has helped me, using wellness tools like that I would use to blow off steam, like running or, exercise, getting that sweat, getting that frustration out. And then I'm more in a clear spot to really look at what's going on, right? And so that leads me to the next session, session 4 of the daily maintenance plan. And in the daily maintenance plan, it is broken down into 3 different parts. What you were like when you were well, things that you need to do every day to stay well, things that you might do on any given day to feel well. And I really like that concept of giving others a chance to identify what you're like when you're well. I know that for me, I'm usually silly and I'm energetic. I'm definitely motivated. I'm organized. I'm positive. And I'm encouraged. I'm encouraging. That's I know when I'm feeling those things that I am doing well, that I'm having a good day, right? And things that I would need to do every day to stay well. It's funny. I was thinking about this, and it used to be so important to me to know what I need to do every day to stay well. And now, after being well for some time and being in recovery for some time, that it has just kind of gone into my daily routine. I know that every morning when I wake up, brushing my teeth, taking my shower, drinking some water, drinking some coffee, putting on my makeup, putting on clean clothes, those things that I do every day help me stay well. Coming to work, eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, talking to my son, going for a walk on one of my breaks, doing those things that I just do every day. They really help me stay well. And because I can do all those things, and then sometimes I still need a little extra. And those are the things that I might do on any given day. Like I might go home and play some cards or watch a movie or, go out to eat with a friend, journal, those extra things to really help me get through my day. So the next one is triggers and action plan. Triggers are external events. So triggers are important to identify, the more that we know about our triggers, the more that we can avoid them or be prepared when they happen. If you know that crowds, large groups of people trigger you, it's probably best to avoid places that are probably going to be crowded. I know for me, certain holidays can be very triggering. Certain family members and things like that can be triggering to me. So I typically will talk about it with someone. I'll journal about it. I'll make a backup plan. If I'm going to go see my family for this holiday, okay, but this is my backup plan. And just having that, being that prepared for a trigger or for something to happen inside of me or outside, allows me to just be more prepared and go into that situation more level-headed than easily getting overwhelmed. Which leads us to the next one, which is early warning signs. This is the next session of early warning signs and when things are breaking down, session 5. So early warning signs are internal events. They are, for me, like my stomach will start hurting or my head will start pounding or splitting. A splitting headache usually tells me that I'm stressed. I can't catch my breath. Something is going on. Sometimes early warning signs are triggered by triggers. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes these early warning signs come on and it's my body's way of trying to tell me that, hey, maybe you're not doing okay. Maybe what's going on, stressing you out or overwhelming you or, there's something you need to look at. And so I usually try to identify why my body is reacting this way. I question myself. Maybe I'll journal or I'll talk to someone or even talk to myself. If I need to use a diversionary activity at this time too and take a break and step away from whatever it is to kind of give myself that space to really look at what it is for what it is, I'll do that. And the next one of things are breaking down. This one is really important. This is the last session, the last, discussion before we reach our crisis plan. And so it's really important that we can identify when things are breaking down inside of us. I know for me, my thoughts can become very, very negative. Negative about myself, negative about my life. I start reminiscing in the past and start replaying things. It's a very, very low, dark feeling that comes over me, and it can come very quickly. And I know that things are starting to break down inside of me, and I need to take action. I need to do something different to get myself back to wellness before I reach that point of crisis. And I think that it's important to identify when you are making that plan to identify things that will be a little bit easier for you to do in that time. I know for me, when I'm not feeling well, I'm not really motivated to go to the gym, or go for a 20-minute walk when I'm depressed, right? But I might be motivated to go for a 5-minute walk maybe 2 times a day, maybe. I might be more motivated to do simple, easy activities that do give me some wellness, that give me that little bit of hope, that allow me to be like, okay, maybe this is what's going on, and self-advocate, right? And go forward. But the beautiful thing about RAP is that in case it still doesn't work and you do end up in a crisis, we have a plan for it. And the crisis planning, session 6 and session 7, which is crisis planning part 2, allows us to go back, right, and look at how we feel when we are well. And then we identify signs that people need to take over. Our supporters need to take over and help us. And, those signs are very important. I have some very clear signs, not showering, not eating or overeating, not caring what I'm eating. When I used to smoke, it'd be like smoking 2 packs a day, that's a sign that maybe I'm not doing okay, right? Like that I'm in crisis and I need someone to take over. And, and then RAP gives you a chance to talk about your medications, which ones you're on, which ones you don't want to be on, treatment facilities that you have been to that you don't want to go back to, treatment facilities that did work for you. If you had to go to one, this is the one you'd rather go to. Your home, community, and respite plan. We talk about peer support. We talk about how you would want to be supported during a crisis. And we talk about who your supporters would be and what they would do. You also have a place to talk about what people you may not want at all to support you. And I love that. I love that we get a chance to identify what truly works for us solely based on us, right? Like RAP totally just enforces that we are the expert on ourselves. And then crisis planning part 2, we get to talk about how we want our supporters to help us, what things we want them to do, what things we would want them to avoid. I have many sisters. I have 4 older sisters, and, each one of them has their beautiful talents all in themselves. And, one of them I'd feel more comfortable with helping me with, bills compared to one I would just rather like be a supportive sister and sit with me. It just depends. So we have a chance to identify like this person I feel like would help me better with this and that person with this. And then we also get to identify signs that the plan is no longer needed, that we can inactivate this plan. Coming out of isolation, starting to make my own meals, starting to hold a conversation for longer than 10 minutes, are signs that I am starting to get out of this crisis. I'm starting to get back to myself, and I no longer need that same level of support. For some people, a timeline is very helpful. And it's just up to you. The RAP is a living document. And so as our wellness grows, our recovery grows, we grow as people, our RAP can change as well. And I love that about RAP, because I know my wellness tools can change daily sometimes, especially over the years. My wellness tools have really changed. And so the last session, post-crisis planning, is a chance to kind of talk about and discuss what items or what situations might be difficult to return to right after a crisis. Going right back to work or going right back to school. Certain responsibilities might be difficult to go right back into after a crisis. And so, talking about that and talking about how we can stay motivated to continue to put our RAP into action is really important. And it gives us a chance to discuss like why it is that we, what things help you stay well. I know for me, really taking the time to find the positive and the negative really helps me. Trying to remember to look at the bigger picture of things, that, reminding myself that this is not the end, that my story does not end here. I have not come this far to end here. And, that keeps me motivated, keeps me going, keeps me prepared for the next day to see what is going to happen, so I never know what can happen the next day. And, using my RAP fully and completely has kept me well for a good period of time. And like I said, I update it and I change it and I keep it living and moving with me as well. And so that So just to recap on everything that we talked about today, we talked about the 5 key concepts, we talked about WRAP, and we talked about the Wellness Toolbox. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, so thank you for listening.